Yeah. Never have to worry if I have enough dough. Fashion show out in Paris in the front row. Party every night, I don't have time to sleep. Next day it's the same, just rinse and repeat. Show me the money. Summertime trips on the yacht to the island. Squad rolling with me and we do a lot of wildin'. Bottle of whatever you want, just put your order in. You can have as much as you want, there's plenty more of them. Yeah, show me the money. Show me the money. It's all about the lifestyle. It's all about the lifestyle.
Welcome to the Bahamas and the PokerStars Caribbean Adventure 2018. This is the main event from the Atlantis Resort on Paradise Island. I'm James Hartigan. Alongside me is poker pro, poker coach, and poker writer Jonathan Little. So, Jonathan, can you remember the first time you came here to play the main event?
It's a long time ago. Feels like forever ago. 2007. It was one of my first $10,000 buy-in tournaments, and somehow I ended up taking 5th place for about $320,000. It was a very good start to my live poker career.
So you were at that final table on the Dragon's balcony where the wind was blowing?
Yes, they had to get tape to tape down the cards because as soon as they dealt the cards flew right off the table. But now we're here at this great set, so you don't have to worry about the cards flying away.
And over the years, the PCA main event has just become one of those tournaments that's just kind of grown in prestige, and it's one of the titles that everyone wants to win.
Definitely, it's one of the major tournaments of the year. There are only so many gigantic tournaments, and this is one of the biggest.
Well, this year, more than 570 players took to the tables across 2 day ones, including some PCA regs like Chris Moneymaker.
Exciting day ones.
Fatima Maria de Melo and Jamie Staples.
Guys, I just want a pot. You missed it.
Plus Daniel Negreanu. Well, sadly, none of those guys made it through to day 2, but plenty of big names did, including the reigning main event champ, Christian Harder. Plus a couple of former EPT winners, Liv Marie and Jake Cody. We've also spotted the always vocal and emotional Maurice Hawkins. You might remember we saw him make a deep run here 3 years ago.
I just want to be so well off that I don't have to be famous.
Should also highlight certified poker legend Barry Greenstein. And psychologist and author Maria Konnikova. Great story, this one, Jonathan. Less than a year since she started playing poker, she's already won a trophy, taking down the national championship yesterday.
And a platinum pass, so she has to come back next year.
Exactly. And we've got a number of players who've won seats into this event. Maurice Schwab, a forestry crew supervisor, playing in his first major event. Swiss qualifier Stephen John Jost, who won a seat for just 27 euros. And check out this guy, Charles Modesto from Brazil. Every time we point a camera at him, he does this. Those are some moves.
You think he has this many moves on the table?
Good morning, people.
He's going to be taking a seat at the secondary table. So let's talk about some of the players we've got on the feature table today. Andre Akkari. Everyone loves Andre.
He is one of my favorite people. He is so nice, so humble, and everyone in Brazil loves him.
Exactly.
Everyone in the world loves him.
Another player to watch is Jonathan Jaffe. What do you know about him?
He is a player. He comes ready to fight hard for every pot. I'm excited to see how he accumulates chips because he seems to make a deep run in almost every tournament he plays, and he always has all the chips. So let's see how he gets them.
Well, we are about to get cards in the air in the main event, but before that, there's another platinum pass being given away today, Jonathan. Did you know about this?
No, how?
Well, Joe Stapleton is on the floor. He's got the details. Over to you, Joey.
All right, my babies. Now we have the little matter of giving away a platinum pass for next year's Players' Championship. We randomly drew a table a few moments ago. That table was table number 34. One of the players at this table will win a platinum pass. We're going to settle things here the way we always settle things on the tour. An all-in pre-flop hand of Texas Hold'em. All right, let's see the flop. Yes. 8, 10, 6, 3 clubs on the flop. Does anyone want to turn a card over?
I would.
All right, John's going to turn a card over. He's got a deuce.
I got that
Great
beat.
card.
I got a beat.
Mike's probably got that beat. Mike, out in front with a pair of 10s. John has a tray. Let's take a look at one of Ty's cards.
A player who hasn't even arrived yet.
May has an ace. Pavel has a club. Straight flush draw. Let's take a look at Joe. Joe has got a 6, pair of 6s for Joe. All right, let's see the turn card. Red. It is red. It is a 4. All right, let's see the river. The board pairing 8 on the river. John cannot win. John is out. Mike's pair of 10s. 3, 5, no good there. Let's try Ty's card. Ty has got an 8. Wow. Ty right over there. Not a club under there. Joe has a king, and it looks like our winner is Ty Ha. Congratulations. Ty will be joining us for the 2019 Players Championship. Nice work.
Wow.
Great way to start the day. Ty Hart arrives late on day 2 to find out he's won a platinum pass worth 30K. My thanks to Jonathan Little as we get action started in the main event. We've got Jonathan Jaffe in the 7th seat with more than 122 grand, while Andre Akkari from Team Pro is in the 3 seat, playing a 57 big blind stack. Blinds are 500 and 1,000 with a 100 ante. And the action is on Marius Patro. He is under the gun. And at this point, we welcome Joe to the booth.
Yep. Such a long way.
Patro folds. Lucas Blanco has Jack 8 of hearts. He lets that go. Gregor Nachtigall has folded. Pocket queens for Jonathan Jaffe in the hijack.
Okie doke.
And that's a raise to 2,200.
Hello, Newman.
That is Benoit Galland.
Fine.
Well, it's been folded round to Andre Akkari in the big blind, who's got ace-6.
22, 23.
Now, even though we know Andre's way behind, a call here is totally standard.
He does call. And these two go heads up to the flop, which is ace 10-10. Advantage Akari.
Yeah, hey, nice flop.
Check, check.
I like Andre's check.
8 on the turn. Akari now a 95% favorite. Checks a second time. Still no bet from Jaffe. A 5 on the river. Andre has a lock on this.
And he's played this well. He's checked in spots where Jonathan could have a bigger ace or a 10, and now he's going to go for some value.
3,500.
Tough spot for Jonathan. Flirty.
He calls. And Andre tables the best hand and ships the pot.
Andre's rarely going to be bluffing there, but Jonathan's hand's just too strong to fold.
Andre playing an above average stack. Well, let's take a look at the biggest stacks in the room. Jean Atiba is the chip leader, just ahead of Michael Vella, who made the final table of this event last year. Well, Chance Cornuth was a finalist in 2015, but in 2018, he is one of the early casualties on day 2, as is Steve O'Dwyer, who won the 50K high roller yesterday.
When will it end?
Yeah,
We've also lost the winner of the 100K super high roller, Kerry Katz.
Carry on, my wayward son.
But we still have Bahama Bryn. Mr. Kenny, the most successful PCA player of all time with more than 6 million in cashes.
B-boy.
On the subject of cash, the winner of this event will take home more than $1 million. A min cash is worth 17.5 grand. Means a lot to qualifiers like Charles Modesto. He's in our secondary feature table, playing 5-4 of clubs from the button.
Hey, you know what a dance teacher's favorite hand is? 5, 6, 7, 8.
For you, that's really good.
Thanks.
Well, looks like he's counting out a raise. 2,600. Round to another qualifier. Stephen John Jost in the big blind. He's got sixes. And that is a re-raise?
Okay.
I gave the wrong one.
Yeah, you're going to re-raise.
Ah, he meant to call but put out too many chips, so he will be forced to raise.
This is unfortunate. The misclick 3-bet is a pretty obvious tell.
I gave the wrong one.
I understand that.
Okay,
Because you
okay,
didn't say
yeah.
anything and it was over half
That's
the bet. It's
clear.
enforced.
Sure.
Sorry, darling.
No problem.
Awkward. If Modesto picks up on this, there's a good chance we're going to see a light 4-bet.
Yeah, he takes advantage of Jost's mistake. Re-raising to 9,600.
What do you do now at sixes?
And Jost is forced to fold the best hand.
And that's where I say verbally declare your bets.
Well, it looks like Charles Modesto does have some moves at the poker table.
Cha, 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 cha. Hello, my babies. Welcome back to the Bahamas and our coverage of the PCA 2018 main event.
I am Uncle Daddy Joe Stapleton.
With me, Griffin Benger.
It is the 2018 PCA, as I mentioned, but we're already looking ahead to the 2019 PCA and the PokerStars Players No Limit Hold'em Championship. We've already given away one platinum pass that was awarded a couple of days ago to Maria Konnikova for taking down the national championship. And today, we gave away another. Let's try Ty's card. Ty has got an 8. Wow, congratulations.
It feels awesome. I didn't expect to win that thing, and it just happened.
Griffin, you know, we've been talking, we say platinum pass, platinum pass, platinum pass. What does it actually, what does it mean, Griffin?
Platinum Pass is a $30,000 package. It's an entry fee into the 2019 $25,000 buy-in, which can be over 300 of them, which is $8 million added to the prize pool, and of course, an extra $1 million to first place.
Right, and we're aiming for it to be potentially the biggest 25K tournament.
I mean, it's definitely going to be by that point for sure. I mean, that's an absolutely massive prize pool, so I think a lot of people are going to find their way out here next year.
And you could win free entry to this event. Make a note of the word on your screen. It's the final part of the password for a future Platinum Pass free roll on PokerStars. More details in the next episode.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Griffin. And of course, the winner of this event also gets a PSPC package. Let's check in on Platinum Pass winner Tai Ha, involved in a three-way pot on one of the outer tables. We've seen an all-in from Charles Hook, an all-in from Daniel Carlson. Tai Ha has called, he has them both covered, and Tai has the best hand.
Still has the best hand.
Not anymore. Full house for Hook. And with an ace on the river, Tai loses the side pot to Carlson.
Hook, line, and sinker. Ha, no longer laughing.
Well, Joe, you just mentioned PCA National Championship winner Maria Konnikova. She has just bet the flop in a hand against Omar Schmidt.
Hey, Maria, save some platinum passes for the rest of us, huh?
And that bet wins her the pot.
You know, Maria, I've noticed you haven't interviewed me for your book yet, so I'm pretty much free whenever. Maria?
Back to the main stage. Blinds are up to 600, 1200 with a 200 ante. New player has come to the feature table, Jonathan West. He folds. Andre Akkari gives up the 6-4 off. Marius Patro is out. Blanco and Nachtigall fold. Jonathan Jaffe's on the button with Queen 10.
Oh, yeah.
He raises to 3,000. Gets a fold from Gallon in the small blind. Russell Carson is in the big blind with 5-4. And he's playing it aggressively. Re-raises with a 3-bet to 11,500.
Not so sure about a 3-bet there. Feels pretty random. I think I prefer calling or folding.
Jaffe's got a decent stack, has the advantage of position.
And he knows how to play to pokers.
He calls, and these two will see a flop.
So far, this isn't going the way Carson wanted.
It's still not going his way. Trip 10s for Jaffe.
Yeah, boy.
No C-bet from Carson.
I like the check. Jonathan is going to have a lot of hands here that won't fold to 1-bet.
Jaffe checks behind. Turn card. Ace of clubs.
It's actually a really bad card for Carson because he's pretty much got to try to rep this.
He is officially drawing dead. And here comes the delayed continuation bet. 7,400.
One would hope that when he gets called or raised here, he shuts it down.
Just a call from Jonathan Jaffe. 40K in the middle as we go to the river, which is the jack of clubs, giving Jaffe a straight. It is a straighty, flushy paired board. And Carson is going to take a stab at this. Bet's reasonably big, 28,000.
The unfortunate thing for Carson here is he's repping very little. It's basically a boat or nothing. And there aren't a lot of boats. What?
Jonathan Jaffe folds the best hand. He folded the straight.
Wow, Carson with an image tighter than a nun's bookshelf. Bibles take up a lot of space.
A surprising laydown there from Jonathan Jaffe, a player who first started making waves back in 2008 when he finished 4th in the 10K heads-up event at the World Series of Poker. Since then, he's won a World Poker Tour title, and he's amassed more than $2.5 million in live earnings.
I liked how you described him as making waves. Remember that time he trolled everyone by pretending to be a dolphin trainer?
Best fake fact ever. Over at the secondary featured table, Brazilian qualifier Charles Modesto has picked up aces.
All right, look at his photo and then look at him. Would you ever suspect that would be what's hiding under his hat? That is not a man bun. That's a man croissant.
Here comes the raise.
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 Who learned you that? Oh, yes, yeah. Don't understand. Don't mind. Whatever he says, just say yes.
Okay, yes. Say good. I'll say goodbye. No, say yes. Say yes. Say yes. Okay.
Oh man.
Streltsov's got jacks.
No, it's small. This is help you.
Okay.
Yeah, he almost got it.
I'm all in.
Well, he's going to get called in at least one spot. Let's see if the blinds wake up with anything. Farhad Hakim is in the small.
14.
He passes. Anoshka in the big. Gets out of the way. Okay, Charles.
Call. In Portuguese, call.
Show me.
Pago.
Great spot for our qualifier.
Good luck, guys.
My God. The hashtag this is incredible.
Oh.
Here comes the flop.
Oh, oh my God.
Unfortunate.
Aces on river, please.
Or just one ace.
Charles needs a 2-outer. At least he's not the at-risk player here.
No. Not this time.
Good. Yes. You, I, hugs, and you. Oh.
But you have more. You don't need to be upset. You have a lot of chips.
He doesn't actually, but he's taking it remarkably well.
Oh my God. Good.
Gotta love the attitude.
What?
Yeah, that like never happens.
Well, let's check in on a player who genuinely has a lot of chips. Chip leader John Atiba. He's gone to the river in a hand against Brian Emery, who has an amazing beard.
Really does.
Atiba bets 18,000 into 28,000.
Paired board, 4 flush out there. Mind games galore here.
Emery lets it go. Atiba shows 8-7 suited for the spade flush.
Wow, he bets the 5th nut flush while blocking the 6th nut flush. That deserves a slow clap.
I guess I should have bet the river there. And then you could just call. Nice hand.
So John Atiba consolidates his chip lead. He's at the top of the leaderboard with a stack of 282,235 big blinds. Second in chips is Jonathan West, who recently came to our main featured table. A few names you might recognize. David Peters, sitting in 5th, and Victor Ramden and Jake Cody, who round off the tournament top 10. Well, Victor's deepest run in the main event was back in 2008 when he came 25th. Jake Cody's best result was in 2013 when he came 47th. 1 year later, Liv Marie finished in 50th. That was her PCA personal best. But you can't do better than the #1 spot, which is where Harrison Gimbel finished in 2010. But the most recent main event champ, Christian Harder, will not be going back-to-back. He has hit the rail here on day 2.
Onward, Christian Harder, soldier.
Well, staying out in the field. Let's check in on Maurice Hawkins, who has just called a 3-bet from Maria Lampropoulou.
The Hawk. You're gonna put in the sound effect there, right?
All spades on the flop, 8-6 deuce. Maria checks. Maurice bets 10K. And Maria folds.
What did you have? I have kings with the king of spades. Wow. That's what I got. I don't know what you have, but this is what I have. Yeah, it's a good thing you have a spade. No spade, right? No spade. See, that's a good thing. If you have a spade there, it's gonna be problematic. High five up top.
She gets to lose the pot and get a poker lesson. Sign me up.
We're going back to the secondary feature table, and we're going to sweat with Charles Modesto. He is in the big blind with Queen 4, and Vladimir Anoshka has limped in the small.
How did I not notice those whiskers before?
Modesto checks his option. The flop gives him top pair.
Okay, all right.
Anoshka betting 1,200.
Let's just call.
3,100.
Let's just make it 3,100.
3,000.
This raise is a bit like interpretive dance. You don't see it that often, it doesn't make a lot of sense, and it's hard to make money from it.
Anoshka calls.
Well, he must be a really good dancer.
The turn card is the king of diamonds.
Where you go? What?
This dude is so weird, I love him.
Check, check. 7 of clubs on the river, so straight draws and flush draws both get there. Anoshka bets pretty fast, 7,000.
Modesto's put himself in a tough spot. He's invited a bluff, but also a queen's not beating anything.
Call.
He calls.
I don't bluff.
And Anoshka tables a flush.
He don't bluff. This has been an emotional day for Charles Modesto. Either way, he's gonna be dancing it all out in the studio later.
Nice.
What kind of dance do you think would be the best way to clear the slate? Tag your tweets.
Here at the PokerStars Caribbean Adventure 2018, it's been an up and down day for our Brazilian qualifier.
My name is Charles Modesto. I am from Brazil. I work with dance. I teach dance. I started with my friends. I prepare, and now I am teacher. My friend of dance started me in poker, and I love it. I played in my house and I win chess. I open chess and oh my God, thank you! Because now I am here. This is big dream, really big dream, incrível.
A expectativa é a gente fazer mesa final nós dois juntos, vamos?
Vamos que vamos, é
Eu vou fazer a
Brasil.
minha parte, você vai fazer a sua?
Eu vou fazer a minha. Vamos que vamos, Brasil representando aqui em Bahamas 2018, é nosso.
Essa porra toda.
Vamos que vamos, abraço. Falou.
Well, straight back to the action because Charles Modesto is all in. He shoved with Queen Jack and has been called by Peter Jetten with Ace-6.
According to Peter Jetten, 2018 is the year of expression, which means I might have to be liking the dancer's side here.
It's practically a coin flip. And there's a queen on the flop for Modesto.
There it is. Even Peter knows it. Expression.
Oh my God.
You're
No,
still winning,
two
you're
pairs,
still
two
winning.
pairs, no, it's good.
Ace is good for you.
Yes.
That's a straight.
Whoa.
You win, you win. You don't go away.
He's not leaving, he's dancing.
Thank you. Oh, you lost? No, no loss. I win. Boom. Thank you. No, thank you, no. Nice hand. I'm sorry, gente. Good, vamos.
Love this guy. Well, Modesto is not the only qualifier we have our eyes on. There's another Brazilian, Glebby Brito. He qualified for this event in 2012 and is now back for another go.
Glad to be here, thanks.
Maurice Schwab is all in on the flop, but his opponent has folded. He will take down the pot.
Schwab the deck, matey.
Maurice won his seat for the PCA in a spin and go. And this happy chappie is known as Nicky Mouse online. He's a poker streamer, and he actually won his package while streaming.
Streams really do come true.
Back to Charles Modesto, who's got Queen Jack suited in the cutoff. Starts the hand with just shy of 28K.
You know, you cannot play a hand sometimes.
He raises to 2,700. Round to Jesus Macera in the big blind, who's got ace-3. And Macera defends. Big flop for the Spaniard, pair and a wheel draw.
Best hand pre-flop is the best hand now.
Checks the action to Charles, who is the pre-flop aggressor. Charles does not continue, he checks it back. And that's the wheel for Macera. Modesto now drawing to a chop.
A little stab here on the turn in general would not be a terrible play.
7,600 in the middle. Charles bets 2,900.
Now we know this isn't going to work. Once he gets called, he's going to be up against a straight a lot of the time.
There's the call from Macera. The river card is the 5 of diamonds pairing the board. Macera checks a third time.
And this is a situation where you kind of need to just shut it down, Mike. Shut it down. Macera's going to have more straights than Sweeney Todd.
Charles has loaded up. 3,600. Quick call from Macera.
The straight razor value cut.
Charles Modesto loses another hand, sending nearly 10,000 chips in the direction of Jesus Macera. Charles is now playing a stack of 18,400, well below average and close to the danger zone.
Danger zone!
And the blinds are up, 800, 1,600 with a 200 ante. Andre Akkari has opened under the gun with ace-5 suited. Jonathan Jaffe's picked up 4s in the cutoff. He calls. Round to the big blind, Jonathan West, who's got pocket 9s.
Calling's fine here.
But you don't.
He's got it.
He does have it. And he still has the best hand. Andre has picked up the nut flush draw, though.
Certainly not the worst flop for nines.
With the action check to him, Akari continues for 4K. Jaffe calls.
And we'll probably see a call, yep.
Still three-way as we go to the turn. And now Jonathan West really has it, an unbeatable full house.
What a nice feeling that is, just scooping up that set on the turn.
Oh, Akari's flush draw is now no good, but he's still betting 13,000. Jaffe folds his fours. West is going nowhere. And he raises enough to put Andre Akkari all in.
I believe I have better flush draw than you.
That is a dangerous theory.
Andre lets it go.
Good fold.
Nice.
Andre was drawing stone dead. Meanwhile, Jonathan West loves the PCA so much he had a shirt made out of the carpet.
Well, we're heading out into the field where it's man down. Super high roller regular Jason Kuhn has just been eliminated. KO'd by Michael Cameron in a not insignificant pot that will see Cameron take the chip lead in the main event. He's now playing a stack of 330,000, 206 big blinds. Meanwhile, Jonathan West is now second on the leaderboard with 290K. John Atiba has slipped into fourth, just behind David Peters. Average stack right now, 76K with 230 players remaining. And we're going back to Maurice Hawkins' table, involved in another hand against Maria Lampropoulou. Maurice bet 8,000 on the flop. Maria calls. Third spade on the turn, the ace of spades. Check, check. Queen of clubs on the river.
Call. Call. Call.
A bet of 12,000 and a very quick call from Maurice, who does not like what he sees.
Uh-oh, is it time for another edition of Talkins with Hawkins? Oh, looks like he's staying pretty quiet this time. No Talkins with Hawkins.
You didn't get your ace or your king, you're never seeing another card.
There it is.
You have a spade in your hand. I showed you kings earlier. So pretty much know I'm solid.
A wise man once said, ego in poker, ego broke. Who said that? Huh.
We're heading back to the secondary feature table, where the action is on Brazilian qualifier Charles Modesto.
This guy's stack has gone up and down more than the Brazilian bottle dance.
Pocket fours in the hijack.
All-in.
All you can eat.
Which I can only assume by his body contains no carbs whatsoever.
Peter Jetton. Passes. Stephen John Jost folds. Sarah gives up the small blind. Eddie Sabat in the big with ace-10.
Same situation. In Portuguese, please. I'm kidding.
It's for a big chunk of Eddie's stack, and he is going to be dominated sometimes, but he has got to call.
He does call, putting Charles Modesto at risk. It is a race.
Like every dancing scene ever versus the lift from Dirty Dancing, one of these two hands has a slight mathematical advantage.
The flop has a 10 on it.
Nobody puts Eddie in the corner.
He takes the lead. Modesto 9% equity now. The turn card is a 5.
No problem, because 4 is good. Now.
No 4 on the river.
Oh my God. Guys, I'm sorry because I don't speak in English.
You did well. You want to take his picture?
tired.
You broke my heart.
You went all in first.
Nobody wants to see Charles Modesto go, but go he must.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Bye.
Okay, remember the choreography? It's box step, feather step, free spin, grapevine, heel turn, time step, thunderclap.
It's been great having Charles Modesto at the PCA. Best qualifier ever.
Whoa. Oh my God.
The dream is over for dance teacher Charles Modesto at the PokerStars Caribbean Adventure 2018.
Bye.
But he's still smiling.
Oh. Isso é uma realidade que, sinceramente, eu não estava nem nos meus sonhos, porque é muito grande. Isso tudo que aconteceu, sinceramente, é maior que os meus sonhos. E agora que eu tô aqui é aproveitar o máximo que eu puder e registrar tudo, porque isso eu vou levar pro resto da vida.
For the 211 remaining players here in the Bahamas, the journey continues. Plenty of qualifiers left in the main event, including Stephen John Jost, who's just been moved to the main feature table.
Stephen John, I mean, come on, make up your minds, Josts. Stephen or John?
He's under the gun with 5 deuce of diamonds. He folds.
Oh, action on Stephen John Jaffe.
He's out as well. Benoit Galan passes. Russell Carson's out. Jonathan West has ace-king in the cutoff. He raises to 3,700. 8-7 of spades for Andre Akkari.
Fine if you want to call on the button, but you literally never flop anything.
Andre's stack is on the short side. He calls. The small blind folds. Big blind's out as well. So it's Akari v West to the flop. Well, it's top for West. Pair and a flush draw for Andre, who is actually the statistical favorite here.
See, literally nothing. Okay, maybe something.
A continuation bet of 3,000 from West.
Of course, Andre has to call.
17.5 in the middle. The 10 of diamonds on the turn pairs the board, and West is now a 3-1 favorite.
Not a great card for ace-king, but not the worst one.
He bets again, 8,000.
And a pair and a flush draw, well, that's harder to get rid of than that box of loose cables you keep in the den.
You never know when you're going to need a SCART. Andre calls again, this hand going to the river. Andre's got less than pot behind. And he does not improve on the river.
Not a great river for ace-king. I think a lot of players are going to check call to try to induce a bluff, but not John West.
80K, that's enough to put Andre Akkari all in.
There are not a lot of worse hands that could call here. Maybe king-jack.
Andre lets it go. Jonathan West gets the better of him again.
Thank you.
You think Andre's sad Modesto's out? He looks sad.
Jonathan West still among the chip leaders. And talking of chip leaders, the biggest stack of them all, Michael Cameron, is in a hand against Daniel Kupel. Cameron has bet 17,500 on the turn. Three diamonds on board. And Kupel raises to 45K.
Look at all those chips, wow!
Cameron responding with a re-raise, a 3-bet to 73,500. And Daniel Kupel folds.
Must be nice to have so many chips you can 3-bet the turn and not be all in.
Cameron close to 400K now.
You should have showed that one, made it good to the camera.
You didn't want to see it. I promise. I could have showed you the ace of clubs.
Would you like to see some other big stacks, Joseph?
I sure would.
Well, currently playing 240K is David Peters. Liv Barry has chipped up. She's now got close to 200 grand. Meanwhile, Platinum Pass winner Tai Ha has just above average, 106K. And from one Platinum Pass winner to another, Maria Konnikova in action in a hand against Oliver Weiss. Action goes check, check on the turn. The river card is the 3 of spades, putting a potential flush out there. Weiss checks, Konnikova checks, and looks like a pair of 7s will be good here.
Third pair gets checked to showdown, and it's good. Poker in 2018.
Well, we're going to stay out in the field. It is round 3 between Maurice Hawkins and Maria Lampropoulou.
Yeah.
Action goes check, check on the flop. 4 of spades on the turn. Maria goes to bet. And Maurice beats her into the pot.
Maurice's body language makes it look like he is annoyed, and in general, it is easier to play against someone who's annoyed.
2 of spades on the river. And it goes check, check. Maurice with the best hand.
Could she have gotten a fold on the river? I don't know. Well, Hawkins isn't Hawkins. I am worried.
Well, let's head back to the main stage. Action on Russell Carson. He folds. Jonathan West is out. Andre Akkari down to 21K. Has king, queen.
Coming in for a raise.
Opens to 3,700. Patro folds. Blanco gets out of the way. Stephen John Jost on the button, has pocket 10s.
Good old Stephen John.
Call.
Calls in position. Jonathan Jaffe has the small blind. He passes. And Benoit Gallon gives up the big blind. Heads up to the flop.
We're flipping if we see all 5 cards.
Well, it's a set of 10s for Jost. Akari with an open-ended straight draw. Andre first to act here.
Big draw versus middle set. Get ready for it. Pra, pra, pew, pew.
Continuation bet of 4,300. How fast is Jost going to play his set?
He's going to put Andre all in here or on the turn.
Call. Just a call.
Did you say Jost or just?
The turn card is an 8. Jost is now a 4-1 favorite. Andre has less than pot behind. He shoves.
I call.
And Jost calls, putting Andre Akkari at risk.
Just the facts, man. Just the facts.
Andre Akkari has 8 outs. He needs an ace or a 9 on the river to survive. It's a queen. He's out.
Good luck, guys.
Thanks.
Okay.
The pro is eliminated by the online qualifier. And Stephen John Jost now has a stack of more than 100,000.
And it's rather fitting that today the Brazilians are getting yanked out painfully by the root. Nice banana.
Well, with Stephen John Jost eliminating Andre Akkari, we are down to 205 players in the main event, midway through day 2. And even though Michael Cameron has lost some chips since we last saw him, he is still chip leader with 365K. Jonathan West sits in second with 295K. Liberi just scrapes into the top 10 with a stack of 197,000. Unfortunately, though, we have lost her Brazilian teammate, Andre Akkari.
The cards were not coming, and I was trying to fix the problem without them. That's what you have to do when you play poker. Sometimes you don't have cards, but you have to try to find a way, some strategy to build a stack. That was what I was trying to do, but it didn't work this time. We have a lot of Brazilians still in the field. I'm gonna be rooting for them. Now that I bust, I can go to the beach, so everything's okay. But I always want to play my best, and I think I did.
Next time, the battles continue on day 2.
Tudo do Brasil, pai. Vamos, pai.
And there's a new qualifier heading to the main stage.
Just try not to think of cameras, lights, and playing against Victor.
Where's the rest of the pot?
Just trying to soak it all in and not jump out of my boots, being scared.
You guys give the maniac all the chips, really. Good job, guys.